Good morning. Can you hear me well? Can you see me well? Although see me is not so important. um, yes. Okay. So we will just take a few moments until we start the formal meditation. But the possibility to be in this moment doesn't depend on the meditation. One day I will get a camera, and if I have a camera, I can look directly to the camera, and that would be nicer because it feels more like I am more centered. But with this, all I have is this computer, and it's kind of strange to be looking somewhere else. But we are so lucky that we have this technology that we can communicate with between ourselves in this way. I was thinking last night and also this morning that this is a great time to try to meditate. There are two main obstacles to meditation. One is our own many thoughts, our own anxieties and stress, and that doesn't change now. It could, for some people, it could even be a little bit worse than usual. But the other impediment to meditation is the intensity that there is outside. The movement, the noise, the activities that come from outside. And outside doesn't mean just the close outside. It means the whole city, the whole country, the whole world. And now the world is so quiet. They said that even the seismic movements of the earth are slowing down. That's amazing. And it's a great opportunity that we have now, that we receive less vibrations from the outside world. And you can feel it. I could feel it last night. I could feel it this morning, how easy it was to enter into a more meditative state. That there is not so much the tensions from outside are so much reduced. This pandemic has a lot of difficulties, and it's going to create um, um, not just what's happening now, but it may even create some economic problems later. But it has so many opportunities, so many things to gain from. So many. And this is just one of them. If we can, and the main way to quiet down our own mind is to come back into the moment. The problems are very rarely in the moment. The problems are always in the past, or more intensely in the future. But if we can take a break, even for a moment, I am not talking about the meditation now, I'm talking about every day, in our everyday moment. If we can be attentive enough to have a break from the past and a break from the future, we don't really know what the future is going to bring us. We cannot know. It's impossible. It is impossible. Any thought that we have about the future is not true. And if we can take a little break from this future and return to what is really here, what is really now, and what is really here and what is really now, there is a lot of peace, there is a lot of quietness right now, in this moment. And by this moment, I don't mean only this particular moment that we are here in this meditation, but I mean in general, whatever moment we pay attention to. And to notice that quietness that it is in our environment. To notice and to breathe into that quietness. And to me, this meditation, the one we're going to do today, or any meditation that we do, it helps for that. It helps to, as I often say, to kind of rewire the mind, for the mind to become more subtle. The mind often can take very heavy impressions, very heavy. It's like the mind is always watching Hollywood movies. And for the mind that is always watching Hollywood movies, it's very difficult for that mind to read a poem. It's like a person that is eating every day very heavy food, with very saucy, with a lot of meat. And then for that person to eat a salad, it will be like, it will not have any flavor, that salad. But if we refine ourselves, then we can learn to appreciate a beautiful salad. We can learn to appreciate a beautiful poem. And we can learn to appreciate a beautiful silent moment. A beautiful silent moment is like a poem, is like a salad. It just requires a more refined mind to be able to notice it, to be interested in it. And so to me, what these meditations do is that they help us to refine our mind. And which means it's not so important what happens during the meditation. It's really, truly, you don't have to be a good meditator. Don't worry if in the whole meditation you spend the whole time thinking, worry, anxious. Don't worry for it. The meditation is still doing its job. And the job of the meditation is to refine the mind. And the refinement of the mind is not something that is so obvious. It's something that happens in the back. It's like if you go to see a theater, you see only the theater, obviously, but you don't know the million things that are going on behind the scenes. And truly, what these meditations do, they work behind the scenes. So don't worry if your meditation looks good. All that matters is that you are here, that you made the effort to be here, that you make the effort to stay the whole time, and that you made the effort to do the best that you can. And then that's all. I mean, if you in the middle of the meditation you start to check your phone or you write a message, then you're missing the meditation. So for the next until 9:30, which we will finish at 9:30, whatever it is, the meditation, however long it lasts. This recording will finish at 9:30. Until then, please be here. Be here physically and try to be here as much as you can mentally. That's all is required. Just be here now. Keep bringing the attention back into this moment. Keep bringing the attention back into the body, into the breathing. And that's how we will start. We will start the meditation by paying attention to the body. And then we will switch and pay attention to the breathing. And then we will switch and pay attention to the mind. And the most important part of the meditation is the returning, the coming back. At any moment, if you get lost in thought, in worries, in a problem, in whatever you get lost. Just bring the mind back. Where? It depends. Either if I'm talking about the body, bring the mind back to the body. If I'm talking about the breathing, bring the mind back into the breathing. Or if I'm talking about the mind, bring the attention back into the mind. But the most fundamental part of the meditation is just this returning, this coming back. Even if you have to do it 100 times, or 1,000 times, or 10,000 times, every time you do it, something is happening in the backstage of your mind. So just sit in a comfortable position and try to the best of your abilities to keep your spine long, which means don't hump. Keep your spine long. It's fine to sit on a chair. It's fine to have a good something that helps your back to keep straight. And if you can sit without a chair, of course, you're very welcome to do that. If for any reason you have difficulty sitting, it's fine to do the whole meditation standing. But I recommend you not to do it lying down, because the mind becomes sleepy. And that's not good for meditation. It's good for other things, resting and taking a break, but not for a meditation. You want to have a very alert, a very present, a very aware mind while we do the meditation. So keep your spine long, relax the body, and I will recommend you to keep the eyes closed throughout the whole meditation. So just close the eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths, filling the whole body with air. Just one last time, remember, it's not important to be a good meditator. All is important is to be here and to return to whatever it is that we are bringing attention to. So I would like you to start to pay attention to your body. And just see the body is comfortable. And if it's not comfortable, move the body around and make it comfortable. But comfortable, keeping the spine long, keeping the neck long. And we're going to practice refining the mind. And for that, we are going to pay attention to more subtle things. So just start to pay attention to the body, notice the body. And relax what can be relaxed. Relax your legs, relax your hips. Relax your tummy. And you just may need a very almost imperceptible tension to keep the spine long. But mostly relax your tummy. Keep the spine long, but relax your back. Relax your arms, your hands and your fingers. You can keep the hands one on top of the other one with the thumb touching each other. You can cross your fingers also with the thumbs touching each other. Or you can find a comfortable position for your hands on top of your knees, with the palm facing up, doing a mudra, or with the palm facing down. But what is important is whatever position for your hands, relax your hands. And try to avoid moving your hands, moving your fingers. Soften your shoulders. Keep your chest open, but try to keep the shoulder relaxed. Keep your neck long. Soften your face, and that's very important in the meditation. Soften your lips. Soften your tongue. You can either completely relax the tongue, or you can keep the tip of your tongue touching the upper palatal. Either way. But connect to the tongue and relax the tongue. Soften your eyes. And I would like you for a few seconds to imagine that you're looking at the tip of your nose. Keep your eyes closed, but just imagine that you're looking at the tip of your nose. But keep your eyes very, very soft. Really feel the eyes. And it's like, just imagine that your eyes are really floating in water. And then at the same time, imagine that you're looking at the tip of your nose. And stay there for a few seconds. Remember, the important thing is the return to the moment. In this case, the return to the eyes looking at the tip of the nose. It doesn't matter how many times you get lost. Even if you get lost 100 times in 1 minute, it doesn't matter. What it matters is that you return to whatever we are doing. In this case, to the looking at the tip of the nose. Soften your eyes, soften your face. As you look at the tip of the nose, notice the skin in your face and relax the skin in your face. Soften your forehead as you keep looking at the tip of your nose. Soften your forehead. And try to soften the whole of your head. Now, I would like you again to bring attention to your legs. Just bring attention to the legs. Notice the legs. And I want you to feel the sensations in your legs. Whatever sensation appears in your legs, I just would like you to notice it. Imagine that your legs are a very strange kind of plant that you have never seen before. And you don't want to touch this plant, but you want to discover it. And for example, just notice the sense of pressure in your legs. Notice if there is any coolness on your legs. Notice if there is any warmth in your legs. Notice the pressure that your legs have because they are touching the chair or touching the floor, or they are touching each other. Just notice the sensation of pressure in your legs. Remember, it's like an explorer exploring something very rare, very unusual, something he has never seen before. There is nothing to gain. It's only to observe, to notice. There is no place to go. There is nothing to gain. And if you don't feel anything, then just pay attention to the lack of feeling. It's just paying attention to the legs. That's all it is. Now, pay attention to your hips, your glutes, your genitals, the whole area of your hips. And just pay attention to it. Just notice. Notice the pressure of your glutes on the floor. Notice if there is any sense of warmth or coolness. Notice if any kind of sensation at all appears in it. and simply be aware of those sensations. If you feel no sensation, then just pay attention to the lack of sensation. We are not going anywhere with this. We are just paying attention to sensations. Now pay attention to the area of your tummy. You will notice there is a movement there, the movement of the breathing. But try to go deeper than that. Try to go inside the tummy and feel any kind of sensation. Don't think of what you could feel. Just be open to whatever appears in this area. Many people have an enormous amount of tension stuck in this area. Sometimes we refer to it as a knot, like something tight in there. We are not trying to get rid of that. We are not trying to change anything at all. And this is very important. We are not trying to change anything. We are just noticing, just paying attention, just discovering. If you get lost, just simply return. And returning is the most important part of this meditation. It's the returning. Now we return to the sensations in the tummy. Notice any sensation of coolness. Notice any sensation of warmth. Notice any tightness. And try not to comment on what you find. Try not to define what you find. Try not to give a name to what you find. Instead of going up to your mind and give a name to what you find, stay in the sensation, in the experience of the sensation that you find. If you find tension, just stay with it. Just observe it. It's like if you sit right beside it, and you just give it company. One thing that may happen is that if you pay attention to the tension may become even more tense. The tension may become even more apparent. That's very good. Stay with it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to get away from it. Don't try to modify it. Now, go up to the area of your chest and stay there in your chest. Observe the chest. And just simply look for any sensation. Probably will not be so difficult to find sensation here. Feel any pressure, any tension, any sensation at all. Remember, there is nowhere to go. There is nothing to accomplish. Simply stay in the area that we are mentioning right now, the chest. Or if you get lost in your thoughts, simply return to that area. And just try to stay there. Now, go to your back and sense the lower back. And sense the middle back. And sense the upper back. If you're sitting on a chair, just feel the pressure of the back against the chair. And feel the sensation of the chair against your back. If you're not sitting in a chair, just feel the length of your back. And just pay attention to any sensations that appear in your back. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to accomplish. There is nothing to gain. All there is the sensations of your back in this moment. Now notice your shoulders. Notice your upper arms. Notice your elbows. Notice your forearms. Notice your wrists. Notice your hands. And notice your fingers. And just pay attention to the whole of the arms, from the tip of your fingers all the way to the shoulders. Just see whatever sensation you feel in there. No sensation is right, and no sensation is wrong. It is only what is there. And notice your neck. And notice your face. And notice the whole of your head. And just notice any sensation that appears in your head. See if there is any pressure in your head, any warmth, any coolness. Any tension. Now, try to have a sensation of the whole body as one thing. Try to put all these sensations that may appear as one thing. Stop thinking of the body as a body and start to feel it as a mass of sensations. And just pay attention to it. Just stay with it. And now just imagine that you're looking at your body from outside of the body. You're noticing all these sensations, all these movements, all these, whatever it is that you are experiencing right now. But imagine that you are looking at it from outside of your body. Like if the body was a living statue. And you're looking at it from outside. It's like if this mass of sensations is sitting inside the room and you're looking at it through the window of this room. If you get lost, just simply return. Return to the body, return to the sensations in your body, and stay there for a while. If you get lost, just come back to the body, stay in the sensations of the body, and then, after you stay there for a while, take that little step and look at it like if you're looking at it from the window outside of the room. Now start to see that this mass of sensations that we call a body, but try not to go into the idea of the body. Stay with the sensations of, with this experience of a mass of sensations that you are looking through the window. Try to see that this mass of sensations is also breathing. Just notice that this mass of sensation is breathing. So stay for a few seconds, just noticing the breathing. But in the beginning, you may feel like you may need to take a few deeper breaths. And that's good, that's very good. Do that. But then, little by little, start to settle down into the breath and try to completely stop controlling your breathing. Just notice that the breathing doesn't only enters into what we call the lungs, but actually, in your experience, the breathing touches every part of this mass of sensation. Stay in the breathing. Notice the air coming through the nostrils. And then see that every part of this mass of sensations is being touched by the breathing. All the way to what we call the feet, the legs, the arms. But then let go of the label and just stay with the sensation. And start to see that you don't need to be there for the breathing to happen. Start to see that the body can breathe on its own without your help at all. Start to see that the body doesn't need you for you to be there to breathe. You can again step out of the room and leave the body breathe on its own. If you get lost, and because we are tired, maybe it's easier to get lost. It's not important. Even if you get lost 100 times, try to return 101 times. Right now, returning to the breathing. If you return, first returning to you are breathing. And connect to the breath, connect how the breath breathe into this mass of sensations. And then after a few seconds, start to see that you're not needed for the breathing to happen. You can step out of the room and just observe that the breathing is happening that the breathing is touching every part of this mass of sensation. You can either be there in the body, breathing yourself and feeling how the breath touches every part of the sensation, or you can try to step out and observe how the breath happens on its own and how the breath. Now very gently return to your body. Reconnect with the sensations in your body. Reconnect with your breathing. Take a couple of deep breaths, filling the whole body with air. Deep breathing. A lot of air coming in, a lot of air going out. And start to move your fingers, start to move your arms, start to move your shoulders. If you want to open your eyes. We didn't get as far as I planned with the meditation, but it takes a while to stay there, to reach there. Keep this connection that you have in this moment. Try for the next hour or so, if you can, not to get too lost in the many things. Try to keep this connection, the sensation of being here now. We will have a session this evening. I will do a short. We will have a session this evening. I will do a short, hopefully, introduction, and then we will have time for questions and answers about any subject, or questions about the meditations, or anything that has with this time. And it will be an informal talk. hope to see you this evening. And if you like the meditation, please put a like. And please write any comments or messages either in the live chat or underneath the video in the comment section. I'm glad you are taking the time to do these meditations. Sometimes they are not easy, but they are so important to practice this regularly, to practice this focusing in the moment regularly, this intense focusing in the moment regularly. There is something in the backstage of the mind working every time you do a meditation. Thank you very much. And see you either this evening or Friday morning. We also do a yoga class.